welcome to my July TBR. We are halfway through the year. I can't believe it. And I have so many books that I want to read. Wonderthon just ended 2 days ago, and I'm surrounded by books from the library, books I own that I had pulled, that I didn't get to, that I would like to get to this month. So I'm going to show you a bunch of books. I'm not going to read them all in July, but I'm going to try to read some of them. Let's start with some of the library books that I have. I'm taking a bunch of them back to the library, just ones I'm like, I'm not going to get to them. I had pulled them because it was Wonderthon, but I'm not necessarily like in the mood to read them right now. Plus I had like 70 books out from the library. I needed to send some back, so I had to make some cuts because I'm not going to read 70 plus books in July. Plus, I still have my reading goals where I'm trying to read books I own, so I needed to trim down the piles of library books. So I'm hanging on to some that I would like to try to get to. They might end up going back to library unread, but I'd like to hang on to them for now. The first is the Wing Feather Saga by Andrew Peterson. I read the first book during Wonderthon, and I enjoyed it. I can't say I loved it, but it did very much feel like the first book in a fantasy series, and this is a fantasy quartet, and I could potentially finish this off. It's middle grade. It's sort of Christian fiction. You can definitely tell that like the author is Christian and is writing based off of some Christian motifs, I guess you could say. So think like Narnia kind of, where it's like definitely fantasy, but there's a lot of like allegory and Christian imagery and stuff like that within it. No, maybe not as much as Narnia, at least currently, but I'm enjoying it. It's cute. This one is illustrated, which I think is fun. I don't think the edition I had of the first one had that. I think it's sweet. It's about these kids who are sort of in this world that's being run by like these goblinoid-esque people, and they're having to try to stay safe. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to like the whole series because I did have some issues with the first book. So if number 2 gets better, I'll probably continue. If number 2 has the same issues, I may stop, or I may just take it a bit slower and not try to like rush through it all in 1 month. So those are an option. I have some graphic novels. I have The Night Eaters by Marjorie Liu. I loved the first 2 volumes of this. It's some of the most beautiful artwork I've ever seen in a graphic novel. I love looking at it, and it has a really interesting story. I love the main character, the mom in this. There's kind of like her children, they're twins, it's a boy and a girl, and they find out that they have supernatural powers, and it's all about them kind of being thrust into this dangerous world, and I really like it. It's very fun and spooky and creepy and very good, so I'm definitely going to read volume 3 this month. And I also have Something is Killing the Children, volume 8. I read Something is Killing the Children, volume 1 in May. Then I read it again in June for Wonderthon, and then finished like almost completely catching up with the series. And so I need to read this one, and then I'll be fully caught up, I believe. That's another like horror, very spooky, like monsters are real and they're like attacking children, and it's very good. Like, I love the art, and the story is just written so well. It's such a page-turning comic to read. I love it. Next, I would really like to read The Enigma of Room 622. I had mentioned that this is on my TBR for Wonderthon, and I didn't get to it, but I heard really good things from someone in Team Dover who said this guy's books are very good and twisty and turny and fun, and so I would really like to get to it. It's kind of a chunky book, but I think it would be really fun to try to get to. I don't have a ton of mysteries on my shelves all the time, so if I want a mystery this month, I'd like this one. In the same vein, I have, has anyone seen Charlotte Salter? If you've been around my channel at all, you know I love Nikki French. They're a husband and wife duo. This is the start of a series. I believe they're on the 3rd book now. So I would like to read this. I think, I don't really know what this is about. Maybe a podcast or some kind of social media and a mystery. I love Nikki French's writing. I think this is going to be a great book. It's really big. It's quite big, but the print is quite large. For not being large print, it's very large. So I'm not really sure what the actual length of this book is. It's like almost 600 pages. Oh no, it's 500 pages, but really big font. So maybe like their typical 450 page book. So I would like to read this one, and then potentially, if I'm in the mood for another long, slow mystery, All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I've heard very good things about this. It's a very like slow burn, slow paced mystery. So I think that could be really fun. Another book I picked up at the library was You Are Fatally Invited by Andy Pliego. And this is one that I've had out from the library before, and I had to send it back because it was like a 14-day loan. It's still in 14-day loan, but it sounds really interesting. It's about like a writer, a murder mystery writer who's like inviting other writers, I think, to like come to his house and do something, and that sounds really fun, and I would like to get to it this time, but it may go back to the library unread. I'm not sure. Okay, those are kind of my library possibilities, but I do have books I own that I would like to get to this month. First up, I would like to finish off the 6-story series by Matt Wesolowski. I have Deity and Demon left. I believe they go in this order. I think it's Deity and then Demon. I would like to finish them off. They read very quickly, and I just love this series so much, and I think it would be really good to kind of tick off another series that I'm fully completing, especially because I started a few series in June. Next, I would like to continue in the Angel of Indian Lake series. Is that what it's called? I don't remember. I read My Heart is a Chainsaw in June, and I loved it so much. It wasn't quite a 5-star, but I really, really loved it. I would like to continue on with this series. I own the next 2 from my friend. He's letting me borrow them, and I would like to finish off this series. So I would like to read maybe the next one next month, and then maybe the one the following month after that. The first one was set in winter, but for some reason, with it being like a slasher, I'm hoping one of these is set in summer, and it would be like really fun to read in summer. I don't know if that'll happen. I had a really good time with the first book, and I would like to continue on while the story is fresh in my mind. And then finally, I am still in the middle of a bunch of books from my May challenge where I started a book each day, and I started a lot of very chunky books during that challenge, and I'm still in the middle of many of them, and I would like to read some of them, probably focusing on the ones I'm the furthest into. So we have Shift. This is the 2nd book in Hugh Howey's Silo series. I'm about 1/3 of the way through. I would like to continue in that. I'm in the middle of Wastelands, The New Apocalypse. This is a short story collection. I'm almost 200 pages into it. It's like 700 pages, but I'm really loving this collection, and so I'd like to maybe continue in that a bit. I am halfway through Insomnia by Stephen King. I'm really enjoying this one. It's just much slower pace than I was expecting from a Stephen King, and so it's been slow going. And then I'm like 60 pages into The Magus by John Fowles. This is supposed to be a psychological thriller. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm still deciding whether or not this is what I really want to continue. I just need to get to the actual plot to decide. But I enjoy the writing. I don't enjoy some of the misogynistic views that are in this book, especially from the viewpoint of the main character. But I'm not giving up on it yet. I still want to keep going a little bit. And then 3 books that I started in May and haven't picked up since. We have Flesh and Spirit by Carol Berg. This is a fantasy that I really loved the first chapter in. I just haven't gotten around to it. Same thing, Broken Crown by Michelle West. This is a fantasy. I got 30 pages in. This was one of my favorite first sections that I read in May when I was starting a bunch of books. This one really stood out and I really want to continue in, but I kind of want to wrap up some other things before I'm like really diving into this. And then Cold Iron, I was pleasantly surprised by the first chapter and the writing in this. I haven't heard a lot about this or the author, and I'm like 10 pages in, so I really haven't started this yet, but I have started it. So I would like to maybe make some progress in this one. All of these that I started in May are super chunky, at least 500 pages or over. So I would like to start whittling down this stack, but also library books are calling me. So who knows what's gonna happen? That is my quick TBR. I don't know which of these I will read or not read, but I need to put my life back in order after Wonderthon, so I'm gonna focus on those books and then see what happens from there. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I have a really fun Wonderthon reading vlog coming up next week, which is going to be a blast. It's a chaotic, amazing readathon. And I have some great ideas for challenges in the future. I'm in the middle of filming another Taming the Shelves video where I pick random books from my shelves and read them. And I just have a lot of fun things coming up this summer, and I hope you'll stick around. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.